All right. And Dr. Green, thank you again. Thank you so much for joining me. So recently it came out that last night over in Orlando, the Orlando Pulse nightclub memorial crosswalk was painted over. Could you tell me a little bit about your reaction to that?
Yeah, I devastated, I think, is the closest to this. We've been in this fight trying to protect our visual cues of inclusion, the crosswalks, the murals across the state. Um, I've had the opportunity to work with some really amazing movement leaders across this work. And at no point in time did we consider that this very specific mural would be in the crosshairs of FDOT. Going after this very specific mural, this crosswalk, this sign of inclusion, where 49 people lost their lives, 49 Floridians lost their lives, and then what I do believe is the second highest number of Americans that have been killed at one time due to gun violence is absolutely atrocious. This is not making the lives of Floridians better. This is not helping anyone. This does not address the lack of economic tourism that we are seeing here in the state of Florida. This does not help the pockets of Floridians. It doesn't make anyone's life better to disregard the lives of these Floridians that were lost at Pulse. So really, just overall, just really disappointed in the attention that is being paid here when it could absolutely be spent on helping us prepare for being in the middle of hurricane season, that so many Floridians are still reeling, trying to recover lives from last hurricane season as we are going into the middle of what could be one of our highest, most powerful storms that we've seen in modern day history. But we're worried about crosswalks. And that feels reductive, that feels exclusionary, and I'm just really upset by it.
All right. So some say that these crosswalks, that the art on the crosswalks could be a distraction. What's your response to that?
I think all of us learned how to drive at very different points in our lives and learned how to pay attention to the road, our surroundings, and have been driving with distractions all around us. We create opportunities, we legislate distractions, like we have legislation around driving with your cell phone because we recognize cell phones are a distraction inside the car. And we don't ban cell phones, we don't get rid of cell phones for people that are driving. We create educational components around them so that people know, be aware of it. What we have not seen, Chris, is a any data that contributes to the fact that rainbow crosswalks or murals on any side street. We have a Black History Matters mural here in St. Pete has been distractive to drivers. We've not seen an increase in car crashes or mortalities. There's zero data to go along with this claim that these are distractive, but we're using that word with some meaning behind it without any data to back it up.
All right. So here in the Tampa Bay area and specifically in St. Pete, there is a rainbow crosswalk. Could you tell me a little bit about your worries possibly that that could have the same fate?
Absolutely, Chris. Here in the Tampa Bay area, we have a few rainbow crosswalks. We also have murals on the street across the Tampa Bay. I believe there's a Blue Lives Matter crosswalk in Tampa. There's a Black History Matters crosswalk in St. Pete. There's a USF Bulls crosswalk as well. But we spent a lot of time really focused on what is called a distraction when it's queer lives or when it's Black lives, but not in these other instances. And I'm really concerned about this very targeted approach to what is distracting and what is not distracting. And how do we delineate that line when all of the attention has been focused on one specific or two specific groups here? And that is concerning to me. What happened in Orlando, FDOT coming in the middle of the night and painting over the crosswalk, it is something that could happen here in the Tampa Bay area across the bay. And we have to be prepared for it. What does that look like for us? How are we ready to continue the fight? We have been in the fight. We have had long conversations with elected officials, with city officials here across the Tampa Bay area. And what does that look like? What they are in this space of really exploring what are the details, what is being asked of them, exploring if there's the opportunity for exemptions. And we are incredibly excited to continue this conversation with our elected officials here in the Tampa Bay area, both in St. Pete and in Tampa. But we recognize that FDOT could just pop up, swoop in like they did in Orlando, and we need to be prepared for what we are currently doing, but also what does it look like on the other side of this. And I'm so excited to support our partners over in the Orlando areas. They are gearing up for some action there. I think some local residents have taken chalk and colored in the crosswalk today, and they have a rally going this afternoon at 6 o'clock. So if any of our friends want to pop over to Orlando, I encourage them to do so. But here, very specifically in the Tampa Bay area, I want to encourage people to be aware, to stay connected to your station, stay connected to all of our social media handles, because there is the possibility that this could happen overnight, and we want to be prepared quickly to respond and let the community know, let our elected officials know we do not agree with this behavior. We want to be a state that is inclusive of all people. We want to uplift Black history. We want to welcome queer individuals here in this space. And that means Florida's for everybody.
All right. And what would your message be if you had one message for those members of the LGBT community in and around Florida who may be feeling demotivated? What would your message be?
A reminder that art has always been a part of the resistance. Art has been this powerful force to remind us that we are not alone. And if they were unaware of how powerful art was, they would not be trying to cover it up. They want you to feel alone. I need you to know that you are not alone. There are people ready to fight right alongside you, to join arms, lock, and ready to move forward to ensure that Florida stays the greatest state in the country. And we are part of that state. The queer community, the Black community, the marginalized community, all of us stand locked arm in arm to continue to fight for this great state.